You're watching Local 6, home of ClickOrlando.com. Local 6 News starts now.
Now at 5, a mom caught on camera stabbing students she says were trying to fight her son.
Plus, this man is accused of stabbing a pregnant woman more than 30 times. But we start with breaking international news. We are just getting reports that Hugo Chavez, the president of Venezuela, has died. Good evening. I'm Lauren Rowe.
And I'm Gart Swanson. CBS News is reporting the announcement was made by the president, the vice president of Venezuela, just a few minutes ago. We know Chavez has been battling some type of illness recently. He was just 58 years old.
Now, of course, we're working to get more information, and we'll bring it to you as updates come into our newsroom. And we also have breaking news. Sky 6 live over the scene of a brush fire in Port Orange. It's right next to some homes there, and we mean right next to the homes. You can see the smoke over the top of those homes on that subdivision there. The flames are burning in their backyards. We've seen people rushing outside, trying to hose down their roofs and their boats.
All right, let's show you where all this is happening. Take a look at this right here. The fire is burning in a thin stretch of trees near Wkmg Court in Port Orange in Volusia County, but as you can see, they are surrounded by homes right now. Lots of fires going on. Lewis Bolden is live near the scene. So, Lewis, what's going on right now?
Well, Gart and Lauren, the fire didn't get to be that big, but because it was so close to these homes, 5 different agencies had to respond. And let's show you just how close it was to these homes. You can see there is a flare-up right back there. The fire department tells us the fire is contained, but they are still monitoring the area because it is still so windy outside. Now, the call came into Volusia County Dispatch about 1:40 this afternoon that a fire had popped up behind homes in the Forest Lakes Preserve neighborhood off of Taylor Road in Port Orange. The fire only got to be about 4 acres, but it came dangerously close to some homes and very close to some screen enclosures. Because it was so close, fire officials acted quickly and aggressively. Firefighters from Volusia County, Daytona Beach, Port Orange, New Smyrna, and the Division of Forestry all responded. And homeowners like Melanie Stoss watched the flames inch closer and closer to their property.
Very, very nervous, yes.
Tell me why.
Well, because these flames are always so unpredictable when the wind comes up, and I understand that the flames are hopping from one area to another. So I am concerned, yes.
When you got home, how big were the flames?
They were at least taller than the house roofs.
Now, back out live, many neighbors were out with their hoses hosing down their houses and turning on their sprinklers just in case embers started flying in their direction. Again, firefighters say they have this fire contained, but they are going to monitor it because it is so windy outside, which means it could flare up again very easily. And when we got here this afternoon, firefighters were stationed at the entrance of this neighborhood. They were checking everybody's IDs before they let them in. Now the smoke is starting to dissipate, so people are having no problem coming and going from the neighborhood. Lauren and Gard.
Yeah, Lewis, I mean, I'm looking behind you right now, and you peeled the camera off just a couple of minutes ago. There's still a lot of hot spots there, and as you mentioned, this is still kind of a dangerous situation there for those homeowners.
Yeah, there are still several hot spots, and the wind is the problem. That's why firefighters are staying in this area. They say they were able to get this fire under control and get it contained pretty quickly, but they can't leave the scene because it's so windy, and these flare-ups are popping up all over the place. But they're very close by in case it gets any bigger. Guard.
Yeah, and I can see that behind you how smoky it is. Could be tough to breathe as well. All right, thank you, Lewis. Well, fire crews are keeping an eye on 2 other fires in 2 other counties, and here they are for you. Now, on the left is a fire that destroyed 10 homes and torched 2,000 acres in Marion County. Tonight, firefighters say it's 80% contained. On the right is a fire that burned about 75 acres in St. Cloud. It's contained, but it burned a shed and an RV in the process. Our other big story tonight, a pregnant woman stabbed more than 30 times inside her house.
Incredibly, she survived, and she had the strength to call for help. Tonight, investigators say the man who stabbed her is her own uncle. The attack happened in Marion County at a home on Northeast 12th Avenue in Ocala, just north of the Woodlawn Cemetery. Eric Von Enken is live outside of the house. So, Eric, how is she doing, and how is her baby?
At last check, Lauren, they are still holding on. That mom is 22 weeks pregnant. Now, police tell us when they arrested her uncle right there on the sidewalk in front of the house, he told them, quote, "They took everything I have," meaning apparently, according to police, a reference to an ongoing family dispute about who was going to get this house.
Yeah, no, I don't want you on that front porch neither. Thank you. I'm sorry. I don't want you on that front porch.
Okay. Clearly, this is a protective family. A man who says he's related to the suspect told us the stabbing of a pregnant woman at this home is a family matter. Ocala police say, yes, this is a family matter. They arrested this man, Samuel Roy Cohn, and charged him with attempted murder for stabbing his niece some 30 times, according to police. From her 911 call yesterday from this home on Northeast 12th Avenue, Jill Feingold was barely alive, telling dispatchers she was losing consciousness and she'd been stabbed near her belly. Is she doing okay, though? Is the baby okay? Is she going to make it? Is there anything you want to tell us? We're just trying to figure it out. Her family would only say that she and the baby are okay, but according to police, they were both in critical condition after surgery this morning. We checked, and the man accused of stabbing her has a long criminal history. He's been arrested for battery, aggravated assault, and drugs. And from court records, it appears there may have been family problems. This is Jill Feingold's mugshot from 2008. When she was arrested for battery, she filed for 2 domestic violence injunctions against an ex-husband, it appears, and even had a woman file an injunction against her in 2000. And from what we're gathering from neighbors, it sounds like the family was all staying here together to care for a sick, elderly relative. Now, when the uncle was arrested, according to police, he told them, quote, "I know I'm going to the gas chamber," end of quote. Lauren?
So, Eric, we both have mentioned the 911 calls. We decided not to play those on television because they are very difficult to listen to. They were made by the woman who was stabbed, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When you listen to them, they are heart-wrenching, but we understand that they tell this woman's story. She goes through it detail by detail. That's why for people who do want to hear them, we put them on clickorlando.com. Just look on the homepage there, Lauren.
All right. Thanks very much, Eric. Also developing tonight, a local mother arrested after she says she was trying to defend her son.
Deputies say she went too far and stabbed 2 of her son's classmates after they got off the bus. We first broke this story on clickorlando.com. Kalarama just got the video of the attack in Orange County and talked to the mom who was arrested. And she's live right now where this all went down in Rosemont. So, Callis, get us up to speed. This is just a bizarre story.
It is bizarre, Guard. The fight happened right here yesterday around 5 o'clock. And this morning, this is all a he said, she said story, even by the Orange County Sheriff's Office. We pulled their report today, and there are some discrepancies of what they say and what the victims say and what the mother who was arrested say. Now, that surveillance video shows that the fight was right here, and it appears at least a dozen teenagers were involved in an altercation with the Silva family. That mother, named Nora Silva, was arrested, charged with aggravated child abuse for allegedly stabbing 2 teenagers while defending her children. According to police reports, the 2 teens that were stabbed say Nora Silva did it. However, Nora's mother, the boy's grandmother, said that she stabbed the 2 boys with a box cutter, which she carries for protection. And at one point, Grandma Esther appears to be punched in the face by one of the teens, and that's when she said she stabbed them in self-defense.
I was protecting my kids. I did not stab nobody. I was fighting, and that's what it shows. I was pulling my kids back.
Police say that you said first that you stabbed the kids. Is that true?
I wrote it in the statement. Yes, it's true. I did it.
Are you just protecting your daughter?
No. I'll protect all my children, all my grandchildren, and my daughter, but I did it because I got frustrated. I'm 63 years old.
Well, take a look at this video. We also talked to the victim that was stabbed in the back. You can see that wound there right between his shoulder blades. It required at least 4 staples. We're going to have that part of our story for you at 6 o'clock. We basically talked to all the players involved here. They all have different stories, and it's hard to put together even for police, Guard.
Yeah, so are the police taking that surveillance video into account if the mother was charged? Does the video show her actually stabbing those 2 teens?
Well, The video that we saw does not. And like I said, we pulled the report from the Orange County Sheriff's Office. The deputy who responded to this says due to the quality of that surveillance video, it's shot from a distance and it is blurry. You can see the sun was shining brightly, blurring some of that out. He said he wasn't able to make out what exactly happened and what was Nora Silva's involvement. However, Nora was found with the box cutter in her back pocket, and they call that probable cause and took her in. Nora, her side of the story, said that she found it on the floor and picked it up. The grandmother says that she dropped it. And, Guard, you're going to hear all of that at 6 o'clock tonight.
Wow. Whatever the case, it's a family that seems to be sticking together. All right, thank you, Calla. And we're following breaking news on Wall Street tonight, where the Dow has reached a brand new all-time high.
And it shows how far the market has come since the economy collapsed. The Dow has now erased all losses from what we've called the Great Recession. Here are the final numbers. It finished up 130 points to close just over 14,250. We have not seen a number near this since 2007. Scott Pelley will take a closer look at this and what it could mean for our economy on the CBS TV News at 6:30.
Governor Rick Scott set the tone for his third year in office today, emphasizing education and jobs. It was the cornerstone of his State of the State address. Now, after slashing education spending, Scott highlighted his plan to give Florida public school teachers a $2,500 pay raise, also increase funding for kindergarten through 12th grade education by $1.2 billion. And turning to job creation, Scott proposed removing the sales tax on manufacturing equipment. The governor also says he wants to continue to cut back small business tax. We'll have more on the governor's address tonight at 6 o'clock.
Brevard County school leaders are speaking out against a lawsuit against the district over the plan to close down 3 schools. Officials released a brief statement today saying, quote, "We believe we have fully complied with all legal requirements in the decision to close those 3 schools." The families of 2 students are suing the district, saying the school closures unfairly target minority kids and low-income areas. Minority students make up at least 40% of the population at the 3 schools that are closing. The school closures affect Clear Lake Middle School, Gardendale Elementary, and South Lake Elementary.
Still to come on Local 6 News at 5 o'clock, 2 big developments today in the upcoming George Zimmerman trial, including the possibility of a self-defense immunity hearing.
And coming up, Local 6's Tony Pipitone's going to break down what it means and the other big developments in the Zimmerman case. Plus, kids are taught at a young age how to dial 911 if there is an emergency. But with fewer houses having landlines, what emergency crews are now suggesting parents teach their kids to call for help. Tom?
Well, we'll get to Tom in just a second. And just in, a surprising announcement that could change the way you pack for your next flight. What the government says you can now bring on board, and it's raising a lot of eyebrows, Tom.
Okay, take a look at what's going on. It's been beautiful. I mean, beautiful today in Central Florida. But here comes our next cold front, getting ready to march in here during the overnight tonight. Rain is on the way. I'll show you when and where next.
And remember, you can get news, weather, and traffic alerts from Local 6 whenever you want. Download our ClickOrlando.com mobile app. Get updates from us when you're on the go.